Hi lovely people, you are welcome to the NO Show and I'm blessed to be with you today. My name is Fifi Ernest and I'm sure you are blessed wherever that you find yourself. We are bringing it to you all the way from Hamburg, and today we are blessed to have one of the Africans in Germany who is doing massively well, who is making huge impact in lives here in Germany, in the life of Africans and in the life of everyone in the diaspora. And I'm sure we can't wait to speak with him. We can't wait to hear from him and the impact that he's made all these years. NO Show is proudly supported by Aqua Travel and Tours here in Germany, Hamburg, in Vansbecker Shores 15C. So anytime you are in Hamburg and you're looking for passport application, Ghanaian passport applications, you are looking for Ghanaian visa applications, you are looking for air ticketing to travel across the world, come to Aquaba Traveling and Tours, and Madam Teresa Edu will be there to assist you. You see their numbers on the screen, so please do well to call the numbers and all your worries will be taken away. We are also supported by Bofak Materials company in Ghana. They are in Nungwa Coastal. So anytime you're looking for building materials and assorted things that has to do with building and all that, please consult Bofak. They do house delivery, so you can buy it from the shop, you can call them, buy the things from the shop, and they will bring it to you all the way to your doorsteps. If you're watching this and you want to sponsor any of our videos, or you want to support any of our videos, you want us to run adverts for you, please, the numbers are on the screen. You pick the numbers and you call the numbers. So please, today we are speaking to Mr. Desmond J. He's a Ghanaian living in Hamburg, Germany, and he is a blessed man. I like the way you're using blessed because God actually affects our lives positively, and this is a man that God has affected his life positively. He's a writer, he's a philanthropist, he's everything. He's a problem solver, and I'm sure today we will learn so much. So stay glued to your seat. We are right back.
The branch manager. We are categorized in electricals, plumbing, and hardware. And you can contact us on 0243 814134 or 0545 848050. Bofak Electricals.
We are in the presence of Mr. Desmond John Beddy, and as I told you earlier on, it's a blessing to have him. To have this man, it's not an easy thing. And if you are an African living in Hamburg and you don't know this man, 20% of your life is gone, because you don't understand the system, you don't understand a whole lot of things. He actually do consultation for every system, be it educational, be business-wise, be it travel, immigration, everything, he is there. Be it language translation, he is there. So that's why he is called the problem solver. So please, all your problems will be solved today, hopefully. So, sir, you're actually welcome to the NO Show.
Thank you, sir.
And we are blessed to have you. I mean, a lot of people know you, but they don't know where you come from. They don't know how you even, how life, a lot of people tend to see the finished product, but not the process. So I want a lot of people to understand the process so that they will know the investment that has been made in this finished product.
Yeah, I think, as you said earlier on, I'm a Ghanaian.
Yeah.
I've been here for a couple of years.
Okay.
It wasn't that, usually you come, you begin to study, and then you move on.
Yeah.
Perhaps get a job. In my case, it wasn't like that.
Okay.
It depends on how we came. So it made it a little bit difficult for us to start work. And if you study my way of life, it's all based on the fact that since I could not get it the way I wanted, we want to make sure all those who followed us have it a bit easier. So my work focus mainly on trying to help others to be more successful as our time.
Wow. I mean, his focus is to help others to. Why that motivation?
Yes, because basically it is, you don't need any motivation to get things that way. When you live in a society that has more successful people, the society becomes very successful. And the generation after will also benefit immensely. So it is our duty to make sure that things are better today for others to benefit tomorrow.
Wow. So many people will be asking, you said you come from Ghana.
Yes.
Which part of Ghana do you come from?
I'm a Voltarian. I come from Volta region.
Okay, Volta region. In Ghana, they call it number 9.
You have the opportunity to score the goose.
So what are the schools you attended in Ghana?
I attended Bishop Herman and Aboni School.
Okay. I know Bishop Herman.
Yes.
One of the very academically excellent schools in Ghana. And Laboni as well. Laboni as well. Wow. We are blessed to have all of the super intelligent people around. And at what point in time did you come to Germany? I mean, if you remember?
Talking about
More than 20 years.
Couple of decades now.
Couple of decades.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
So how was Germany in the era that when you came?
Well, I would say Germany has gone through a lot, and I would say things are better than it used to be. So the country as a whole has made some progress. We, the citizens too, we, the foreigners too, have made a lot of progress. Years back, you wouldn't see foreigners, migrants from Africa even having radio stations to create more awareness, to educate their own people. So looking back, I think we've done well. And gradually you realize that the state institutions are beginning to dialogue with us to take our inputs into consideration when policies are being formulated. So I think we've all come a long way, but still there is much more to do.
So in the early hours of your migration into Germany, what are some of the challenges you faced in the early hours of your migration?
Okay, I'll give you a classical example for you to understand. During our days, it is your own responsibility to look for a school, to attend, to better your language, and then have the opportunity to penetrate, learn a trade, and get better. But today, I think as early as possible, the state institution, I will even use the word, they force you to go to school. They force you to integrate faster, because when you understand the language, when you understand the culture, when you know the values of the people you live with, their core values, you also begin to also move faster, and it becomes beneficial to the state. So I think things have changed. If you look at it from that perspective, so you see that a lot of us are not able to speak the language very fluently as compared to those who came here. especially today, people have the opportunity to go to the school, have their behind between people who even want to study science and whatever it is. So they can move faster. Our time, it wasn't like that. And the language is key. Yeah, wherever you are, if you live in Kumasi and you can't speak Twi, you notice you have your difficulties. So that is one of the aspects we think the German state as a country has done very well, and they need to be applauded for doing that. So if you look at it from that perspective, you will notice that a lot of things have changed. We have to pay on our own, and some of us, by the time we had opportunity to learn the language, 6-7 years has already taken place. You learn the broken German already on the street. So it, as compared to today, so people don't take those opportunities and say, look, you are, I mean, doing something very bad to yourself.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, you implore therefore that almost everyone living around as a foreigner should study the language.
Take the advantages. It's an opportunity given to you. The state even pays for you. Where we are coming from, who will pay for you? If you are a French person and come to Ghana, who will pay your fees to go and learn English and integrate faster? And we have such opportunities. So it is a very big opportunity. We need to take seriously.
So in that time of your migration here, let's say after a couple of years, how was the situation with the Ghanaian community?
Yeah, you see, most often we should look back, make reflections, and then see how far we've gone. When our people came, even what we eat today, fufu, that we just get up and do fufu. People have to find a way out to know how to prepare fufu. So I will still tell you that we should be proud of the pioneers. They were able to open avenues for education, and today, by the time you come, you know an uncle, a brother, somebody in the same church or whatever, you have the opportunity to begin from. They never had it like that. So I always, and like I told you, they never had the opportunity to even begin the school very early. Yeah, so comparing the two times are quite difficult making such comparison. What matters most is that what were they able to do well those days, so that we'll improve upon it. What weren't they able to do well, so that we'll do it better. So what matters most is always forging forward. How can we improve our lives? How can we get better? How can we get better? The focus should always be, how do we do things better, so that we don't continue committing the same errors.
Wow. So after years of being around, you decided to start a radio station.
Yeah, that came late, yeah. I told you I've lived here a couple of decades.
But we would like to know the motivation that actually motivated you to say that I want to start a radio station.
This whole thing started the World Cup.
Okay.
You know, for the first time, that was 26.
Yeah.
There was a World Cup in Germany.
Okay.
And Ghana happened to participate for the first time in a World Cup. And for whatever reasons, I decided to mobilize our people, to organize our people, so that we prepare and welcome the Ghanaians that will be coming to Germany. Yeah. So I took this challenge upon myself and started talking to other friends, with very influential people in the community, saying, look, Ghana will be coming to the World Cup. That is 2006.
Yeah.
Let us do something. Let us prepare. So eventually, I ended up became an unofficial coordinator for the Ghana World Cup. Whilst Tony Bafo was the official coordinator, I happened to be the unofficial coordinator of the Ghana. That means ticket for people who come. Even I went as far as organizing a concert here in Hamburg, one in Hanover, one was supposed to be in Dortmund, and I think Nuremberg or whatever. But unfortunately, the musician did not come. So actually, this is how the whole thing started. So by the time the World Cup was played and finished, my network became so huge. Because I got to know people all over Germany. So it was like, what do you do with all this network?
Okay.
All these contacts.
Okay.
So I came out with what is today called Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, I came out with a platform to do a social media platform, so that the connections we had, the contacts we had, the networks we have, we assemble it into a platform, put businesses in, things you are doing today in, and move on.
Okay.
So yeah, I did that one after some time, but I was doing it as a private person. I was doing it at home.
Okay.
It wasn't like today you are here.
Okay.
So after 4 or 5 years or so, I decided to move to the next level. Meaning that you need to rent an office, you need to build a studio, because people cannot be coming to you always at home. And then we needed a platform that we could use to educate ourselves. We could use to promote our interests. We could use to get first class information on the radio.
Wow. Wow. And the radio is Top Africa.
It's Radio Top Africa Radio, however you call it.
Does it have a megahertz?
No, we operate strictly online.
Online, okay.
Yes.
So like if someone wants to reach out to your radio?
Yes, Top Africa Radio.
On
radio,
Facebook?
Top Africa, Facebook, we are all the other platforms.
Wow.
It is a dream that one day we'll have major sponsors, and then probably think of this FM and whatever. But it's very expensive here. So I think all we should focus now is perhaps the online, but put all the strengths together so that we can become very relevant and then be where we wish to be.
So the entrepreneurs who are watching us today, the reason why I actually sat down for some time and I realized that the reason why entrepreneurs, this diasporan entrepreneurs are not really doing that well as they wish to. It's like we are not taking advantage on the various departmental skills that our other people have enhanced themselves with. Like for instance, you have this Radio Top Africa, which is well known. So if an entrepreneur said, I want to get on board, I want to bring my advertisement here, it helps the Radio Africa to become more popular and the person's business and product to become more popular. But we prefer to stay in our own corner, consult one or two people through our churches.
That is a very technical question you are asking, or statement you are asking. You see, Germany has a population of about 82 million.
Wow.
The entire African population is less 1 million.
Okay.
Yeah, the whole of the African population here in Germany is less 1 million. And then comes let's say, the sub-Saharan or the blacks in general. Let's say we are even just about 100,000. And then typically we talk of Ghanaians, which is also very less again. So if you are doing business is always about a target group. Whom do you want to sell to? How many people do you have? Okay, so technically our clientele are already a very small number. So the only way we can be very successful is put our strengths together. Okay, that's the first thing. We can also only make it when we are attractive to the business partners. And already none of us have that strength, the capacity to start from the top. We can only start from the down. It took a long years to build what you are seeing today. It's not that you wake up and you put it in pieces. So what I'm trying to drive at is that for us to be successful, we need to be very united. We need to be prepared, this solidarity. We need to be ready to support one another. We need to avoid unnecessary competition. If I'm having 5 clients and you also think you need another 5 clients from the 5, so we are going to have probably 2.5 or whatever, or you kick me out and have just about 5 again. So why not we put our strength together and see if we can get more? So we need to understand the system in which we are operating. We need to understand the number of people we are trying to target and reach. You see, because you don't have the strength, you don't have the capacity to get the entire community. You don't have the capacity. So what will only make us successful is that you add your strength to my strength, and then we can try to get more people as our clients or as our customers. So that whatever business we do, we no longer target only our people, we target the greater people. Because our strength will be bigger. But for now, we are all operating the same small circle, targeting the same small number of people. So it is difficult for us to get there.
Wow, it is difficult for us to get there because we are all chasing one bread at the same time. And the bread is only one. The bread can't feed all of us. So as the bread can't feed all of us, we would like to take a quick rest so that we can relax our valves and all that. And we take this opportunity to give our sponsors the space to advertise their products and services. And when we do come back, we're going to speak about this book, one of the most popular books here in Germany. We're going to speak about it. So stay close to your seats. We are right back.
Hi, this is Gofak. I'm Linda Santi, the branch manager. We are categorized in electricals, plumbing, and hardware. At Luba Postal, and you can contact us on 0243 814134 or 0545 848050. Bofak Electricals.
Hi family, so you're welcome back to the NO Show. This is the NO Show, and today, we are learning so much from one of Ghana's finest, Mr Desmond John Beddy. And so we are learning so much. And before we went to the commercial break, I told you that we'll be talking about this book, Ghanaians in Germany. It's a very popular book. So please, those of you who have not gotten your copies, go and get a copy. A portion that you read will really transform yourself. The copies are available. If you are in Hamburg, find your way to Vance Pegasus 15C. You go to the Hamburg Bahnhof, you pick a train that's going to Wartenau. You get off at Wartenau, you see Vance Pegasus 15C. You get a book, you buy it, you read it, and your life will be transformed. So we want to delve much into it to ask him what inspired the writing of this book. We want to understand what actually inspired you to write this book.
Well, you see, I've been working for the community over a long period of time.
Yeah.
So whilst you are here, I think you know what is happening. Mm-hmm. And the more you know what is happening around and the others don't know, it puts much more pressure on you. Okay. So you believe the only way we can all make it collectively is to share what you know with them. Okay. So that we all, we can all move on faster. So basically, what prompted the writing of the book is that I felt there's a need to share what I know with the rest. So it becomes beneficial to all of us.
Wow.
That's what motivated me.
So is this sort of an educational, inspirational book? Because I realize that there is a content that speaks about from kindergarten to university.
Yes, well, what happened is that when you want to document the life of a group of people, either you have enough funds to be able to cover most of the areas on your own, or you have to re-strategize. So what happened is that I don't have the capacity to cover all the areas. So I have to involve others to make contributions. So we have people like Kwame Sechere, who wrote intensively about the businesses we're talking about, why our businesses are not doing well. We had a lot of young students, one in Berlin, one also in Essen, who is now back in Ghana working as an expert. They also contributed as to how it is to start from kindergarten here to your masters. What one goes through to be able to come that far. We have one too who wrote about what it takes to come from Ghana, whilst you've already had your education there, your basic education, maybe your first bachelor even, a first degree, and then you come to continue and then search for a job, what it takes. So we gathered a lot of people from who wrote from different perspectives, so that the book, though I'm the author, but we have a lot of co-authors who contributed, so that we can cover as much areas as possible.
Wow. So how old has this book been since you wrote it? Since the book was published?
I think it is the corona. So I think it is in its third year now. And this is the first edition. So actually we've been working on the second edition for some time now. Do everything on my own. Design a lot of things. I had one Nigerian guy who did the back cover, the front cover, and so they design everything. I have to do it myself, and usually it's not the best. Usually I should have other people who do most of the things and see other things. Unfortunately, it wasn't like that. But so we are working hard on the second edition. We are taking our time to do it. So that
is this the only book you've written?
I've written, in terms of books, I've done, I think some 25 or more than 20 years ago, I wrote a book called Who's a Ghanaian? But it was a small booklet, So I wouldn't say that this is the first one. And I think writing books has been a passion I have long ago. And before I came to Europe, I used to do pamphlets, social science, and I was selling them at schools. Before I came to Europe, I was writing books for school children to use to study and write their exam. So I think this art of writing has been there, and I write a lot. I write. I'm a very creative writer, but I think these days I'm not having the time. This creativity to write, the time is not there, and I've also edited a lot of magazines. So I have a lot of magazines that I edited, and as a chief publisher. So I've been to writing, but this is the first major work I did. And actually, if I should have time, because I have a lot of other books in mind to write, but the time is not there.
How influential is Mr. Desmond John Beddy?
I'm just like you. I'm not as influential as you think. What I've come to realize is that at any time when you have the opportunity to help others, do it. Because the more you help others, the more others will help you. And people always get it wrong. They think, oh, I helped 10 people and none of them came back to also give me anything. Don't be bothered about that. By the time you finish with 100 or 1,000 people, about 4 of them will come back, and what they will give to you is much more than what you did for 1,000 people. So anytime you have the opportunity, be there for others, and you are blessed.
Wow. You actually represent and help a lot of people in the diaspora, no matter where the person is coming from. But almost all your books are about Ghanaians.
Yeah, because
what's the decision? Why?
Yeah, because one, you have to critically, even this one took me about 6 years, 5.5 to 6 years. So imagine you want a bigger scope. So actually the plan to go to Africa is there, but that means it will take much more. And I can't finance it.
Yeah.
It should be a project because the time is there, the concept is there, how I want to go about it is there, but I notice it's going to be more challenging than this one. Yeah, so you have to see at a point in time what am I capable of doing, and that decision is right, because if I've taken a bigger one, I'm sure by now I'll still be working on it. Wow. But with the experience this one I have, it will be much easier for me to do that. About 23 people are involved. Wow. And if you are tackling from the African concept, African perspective, or seeing it from the African life or way, it means there is much more involved. And the diversity is much more. You have the Francophone, the Anglophone, the Swahili bloc, the West, East, the Arabian. So I think it's good to start from here, get experience, and probably if you want to go the next step, you can, or even if someone else want to do it, you'll be in a better position to advise that person.
Wow. Somebody watching us may have aspirations of writing a book. And the person may be asking himself, maybe I need a special license in order to publish the book here in Germany. Is that how it is?
No, you don't need any special license. You just have to write your book. Yeah. In my case, what happened is after the book came out, I think the University of Hamburg came to me and said, hey, this book, we need it in their universities. Okay. All you need to do is like the code for the book, and then when you want to sell it, you also need a code so that when it gets to the publishing houses, the market, it can be very unique on its own. You can see we have one, so it makes it very unique. You have to ask for it. The publishers will give it to you. The German authorities responsible, so that your book becomes only one in the system. Yeah. So those ones you have to ask for. But for you to write, for you to bring your thoughts onto a paper, you don't need any permission to do so. So anybody who wants to write should write. The only thing is that if it's possible, get good editors to help you edit it. If you have the opportunity, get good proofreaders to help you. If you have the money to then look for publishers to help you, it makes much more cost. Yeah, but nothing should stop you.
Wow. You're learning a lot today. Does Mr. Desmond John Beddy has a hobby?
Oh, interesting. If I have the hobby, then or now. when I was young, I used to play football. I love it, like almost every Ghanaian. Yeah.
You played football with the former Blasters coach, Siki Akono?
Those days we all grew up in the same areas. We were all playing those days. We never knew some could come that far. I think some of us didn't take it that serious. It was like sort of hobby soccer, and then so some of us took it. I think during our days we have what we call O level and A level. During my O level time, during the A level too, I played once in Bishop Ima and I played once in how do you call it, Laboni. Okay. But fact is that it was like a hobby. Okay. Yeah, we never took it that serious. Though I was very good, we could have gone. Even when I came here, I was still good, but we didn't take it that serious. So hobby, I would say years back too, I read a lot, and I wrote a lot. But today, if you ask me about hobby, I think I'm lost somehow. I'm just in the system. Go home and sleep.
Wow.
Yeah, but
in in your content of expertise, I mean, you are a media owner.
Yes, sir.
You are also a social entrepreneur.
Yes, sir.
You are also a writer. And you are a philanthropist. That's exactly what I want us to get to. I actually saw a video of you, and you had gone to Ghana to build a school.
Okay.
And you are also the CEO for the, I think, Youth Educational Awards here in Hamburg.
Yeah, I think I need to make some corrections.
Yeah.
Most often, it looks like when you are leading a project, they will assume you are the one and alone doing it. There are things, me alone, I can't go to Ghana and start building a school.
Okay.
And then also, I'm not a philanthropist, because perhaps my understanding of philanthropist is wrong. Philanthropy is somebody who has much money and is using part to do other things. I don't have money. I'm just like you. All I do is that I try to mobilize funds and then we try to identify problems and do it. So I'm not a philanthropist. I don't even have any money on me right now, so I am not. And then yes, there's nothing like a CEO of an event. We brought African Youth Education Awards into existence because we knew then a lot of our children were not doing well in school. They were not taking academic very seriously. They were not even having access to role models. So it was a sort of initiative that we said, let's celebrate our children when they do well at school. Let's also find a way to bring them to see that we have Africans who are diplomats. We have Africans who are doctors. Who are successful. You see, engineer. So we started, changing the narratives by making it possible for a child to know that though he's black, he's also capable of getting somewhere gradually. After 10 years, we've noticed that we've come far. The last time we were at African Youth Education Awards, I noticed most of the ladies, the guys around me, a lot of them have their masters, their PhDs. So you notice that we've gone far. So as we talk now, they're no more going to focus on only those who have started, but now we are going to focus on even people who have got their first degree, their masters, and their doctor titles. So I'm not a CEO. I'm just a leader or the initiator, but I'm not a CEO. There's nothing like CEO. It's an initiative from Top Africa.
Okay, so can you look into the camera and
I look into the camera?
Yes, and actually elaborate or expatiate more on this new initiative with regards to the Youth Educational Awards, so that the viewers watching us, the youth watching us back from their homes or their laptops or their devices will be able to get a proper understanding of they involving themselves in this new initiative.
Yeah, it's not a new initiative. It is an initiative that has been there for long, and it has played its part. We have children who say, next year, you have a child who used to come there with the mom or the dad, and then says, one day I want to also stand at the podium and be celebrated. And after some time, they are also there. So all it is like I said earlier on, we just want to celebrate the children. By so doing also, we have a very strong platform. That platform is so powerful that if we should bring you there and say, this is what we want to do for you, a lot of people will see it and pay attention. So it's a platform on its own. It's a very powerful platform that we've been able to create. But most importantly, we use it to showcase our role models in the society for the younger ones to see that they can also become a lawyer.
Wow.
So that is actually all that is behind it.
It's a blessing.
Except that it's very difficult to organize.
A boy coming from the Maui or the Bishop Herman School in the early 70s and all that. And the boy, early 80s, and the boy maturing to enter Germany in the early 1990s. And the boy grows up to become friends and affluent with ambassadors and being in meetings where the former president of Germany was there, Angela Merkel, actually the former Chancellor of Germany was there and all that. How far do you think the Lord has brought you to?
I think I should be very honest and say I'm lucky and I'm blessed. Yeah, because I've not planned my way this way. I've not planned to be where I am. I think I'm fortunate, that is all.
Yeah. So we want you to look into the camera and give your advice to the general diasporan society. What one advice would you give to the general diasporan society?
Yeah, I think
who aspire to be like you anyway, in a certain sense.
I think one great thing we should not always forget is that we should unite. We are not united at all.
Okay.
And I think when alone, it doesn't build society.
Okay.
Society is the collective good for all or of all. So when you have an opportunity, see how you can also help others. And until we begin to do that, we wouldn't come far. And the very good ones should also start trying to go into politics. Because politics that decide our daily life. When a lawyer makes a mistake, he's making a mistake just for his client. When a doctor makes a mistake, it's just about you. But when a group of politicians take wrong decisions, it affects the whole society. So we should begin not to be scared into going to politics. The young ones should start going into politics. And they shouldn't go into politics to go and make money for themselves. Because if it is all about money, then go and do business and be rich. Yeah. But if your intention is to go into politics and just go and be rich for yourself, then what have you gotten from it? Yeah. So people should go there and just want the best for their people, so that we can all be happy, we can all drive on good roads and things like that.
Wow. Are there people that you would like to greet?
Everyone. I greet everyone.
Groups. I know Top Africa, all listeners of Top Africa.
Without the crew, you see, I think I'm very fortunate. I'm seated here right now, but there are so many great people assigned to specific tasks doing something right now. You don't see them, and they are all doing something. Yeah, so that way the institution will be better. And so these are people we appreciate so much. Yeah, though they work full time, but they are there for the institution. At any time, you can call any of them and say, this is what we have to do at this point in time. I have to call somebody and say, this is a meeting we need to go and attend. And sometimes, I didn't grow up here. And I have some of these guys, they are lawyers. Some even have their PhD in law, just like you are aspiring to be. And sometimes when it's become critical, there are meetings I don't attend. I ask them to attend because they are more competent with the German language. They can speak it more fluently and understand even anything. So there are a lot of people. These are people I want to use the opportunity to thank for what they are doing for the community. That they are not being seen, but they are doing so much. We thank them for giving us their time to be there for the institution and for the people as a whole.
Wow. And lastly, we would like to ask you, what would you have to say to the NO show and its viewers?
You shouldn't expect to be where you want to be today. You should have a long-term projection. Most often we start and then when things are not moving that well, then we throw in the towel. No. It will never come that easy. So you have to be focused. You have to believe that 10 years time, this is where I want to be. But if you are just thinking that some 1 year, 2 years, everybody will be calling you, then I'm sorry. And then also sometimes too, it is much more difficult when you get to the top. To sustain, to maintain being at the top is sometimes much more difficult than getting to the top. So these are some of the things you should take with you so that you are patient, whilst you improve the quality, whilst you improve your working relationship with people. But bear in mind, that's much more difficult when you are at the top. It's don't just come and say, 1 year, everybody should be calling me, celebrating me. And then when there are times to come, make sure it is even going to be much more difficult. So always raise the bar and try to move in that direction.
Wow. What a blessing today has been. And it's going to be a memorable day. And those of you whose questions were not answered today, go to the comment section, write your questions there. Write your contribution, your comments there, and all that. If you have any questions for Mr. Desmond, please go to the comment section, write it there. And we shall surely have a part 2 of the interview, and all this, your questions will be answered. He's a very influential man here in Germany, one of the most influential Ghanaians here in Germany, who has been abreasted with information to help us know and to transform our lives. So please do well to find him, locate him. You can only, one of the ways of locating him is buying his book. If you buy his book, he will give you his autobiography or autograph, and he will sign for you. And you know, when you go much into the book, you will find his contacts, his email address, and all that. When you do have the chance to try and come to Hamburg, when you get to Hamburg, look for Vans Beggar Shows, 15C in Hamburg, and you'll find him. And you can talk about him if he has time. He's a very busy man, but you do your best to find him, and your life will never be the same. God bless you for watching the NO Show. Please subscribe, please comment, please share the videos when we upload them, and turn all notification bell. We want to thank all our crews and all that. We want to thank all our viewers for giving us the 5,000 subscribers within 4 months. And we want to thank you. That may the Lord bless you and favor you wherever you find yourself. So as NO Show, as we always say before we wrap up, be faithful to yourself and be faithful to your God. Bye-bye.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Teresa Du from Aquaba Travel and Tours. I think most of you know me already. I'm here today to encourage you to be watching NO Show, because believe me, guy, you are missing something great if you don't watch NO Show. So it's very educative. Sit, relax, and watch it. Enjoy it. NO Show.